Attention! Eddie's Micro Militia, because we are diving into some more Sleep Token. Super hyped for this. This one is called Higher. It's the 5th song off their first album, Sundowning. Now, what can I even expect in this? So, what I am expecting, beautiful vocals, hopefully some screaming, we'll see, and amazing instrumentation. Those are givens. Well, at least the beautiful singing and instrumentation. Givens. Is there going to be screaming? I really hope so. Higher. Really don't know what to expect from this band anymore. They can take us left field, they can take us right field, center field, doesn't even matter. It's gonna be a journey, it's gonna be awesome, and there's nothing else left to say except for let's get into it. All right, I got the lyrics pulled up, straighten my monitor out here, and let's go.
You say you won't begin again.
A gun.
Let me in, 'cause I am a fire, and you are dry as bone. You are taking your time, you are killing me slow, and I know we instigate, go back and forth, lacerate, 'cause you can remember only when you're alone. I'm granting you more than the debt that I owe, 'cause I look for scarlet and you look for ultraviolet.
Okay, it's kind of starting off with like a similar vibe as this whole album has been keeping, kind of like a church. They're doing another stomp thing, starting off relatively flat, relatively low down here, so we can go up, of course. Diving into the lyrics a little bit here. You say you won't begin again, capitulate and let me in, 'cause I am fire and you are dry as bone. Ooh, okay. So they're fire, I'm dry as bone. So what happens when fire meets like dry grass or something? It means it's gonna spark like immediately. It's gonna catch on fire and it's just gonna burn. It's gonna sear super hot. You are taking your time. You are killing me slow. Aw, very toxic, very sad again. And I know we instigate, go back and forth. Again, it's a two-sided thing. We're going back and forth. Lacerate, because you can remember only when you're alone. I am granting you more than the debt that I owe. Ooh, okay. So granting you more than the debt that I owe. How are they doing that? Is it because they're providing kindling to the fire? Is that why? And you can only remember, because you can remember only when you're alone. Okay. Is this more of that, like the sundowning theme kind of coming in with dementia, remembering things? I don't know. We'll see. Let's just get into it and kind of get a little bit more of the story going. Again, mallet percussion going on. Ooh, can't. He didn't say can't, he said can't. Okay, it's getting into a little bit more of a rock feeling, and the drums sound super clean. Very clean mix on the drums, and it's a relatively simple drum pattern. A like overall, the grand scheme of things, there's an overall simple drum pattern with added taste, with added flavor with the cymbals, and we have rim hits, not rim shots like you do on a snare, but rim clicks. Literally just playing the drum's rim, not playing on the head, but just playing on the drum's rim. That's a technique that's used to create more of a percussive sound, more to add to like ambiance. But the mixing is great. I love how forward the drums are and just how clean everything sounds. I can't wait to see what Variation 2 does on this, because amazing sound once again. And then just focusing on the lyrics here real quick. Because I look for Scarlet and you look for Ultraviolet. Okay, so again, two opposite ends of the spectrum. I'm taking Scarlet is kind of like there, since he mentions Ultraviolet, I'm assuming Scarlet is meant to be like infrared. And infrared and ultraviolet are on the opposite ends of the visual spectrum. Humans can't see it. Humans can't see ultraviolet. Humans can't see infrared. But they're the polar opposite ends of the light spectrum. One end is ultraviolet, like what the sun radiates. The other end is infrared, like we have infrared goggles where we can see like heat signatures and that sort of stuff. So two polar opposites. And we are exhausted by all this pretending. We just can't resist the violence. You need a melody, I only need the silence. Again, opposite ends of the spectrum here. One person craves the silence, like I'm just chilling, let me be at peace. The other end needs a melody. They need action in their life, or they need a song in their life. They need purpose, I guess. But each time we battle, the blood and the fury takes us a little higher. Two opposite ends coming together in battle, and what happens, like we were talking about in one of my other videos, you work out, you break down to build up. So anytime there's a battle, anytime they butt heads, anytime they collide, it makes both of them stronger. It elevates both of them higher. Makes sense. It makes them both higher. And now we're in full rock groove here.
That you believe, you still refuse to shelter me, 'cause I am a danger, and you're a long way from home. You are one among many, but you're now on your own.
He's holding that out. Yeah, he's still going. Okay, before I move into our next section here, really, in terms of the musicality, this is probably one of the most simple things we've gotten. And I mentioned in my last video, simple is different than easy. Of course, there's intricacies. There's great musicianship going on here. But in terms of Sleep Token and what I've come to know from them, it's very linear so far, which is good because you need that linear, you need that straight bass line to move up and down from, even within an album. Maybe this is that one song that's kind of just even keel, but just to set the mood, just to set the ambiance to what's to come in the album and what has come before it. We still got some time in this song. We still got about a quarter, a little under a quarter left of the song, a little over a quarter left of the song. So there's definitely room, there's time for it to change and kind of morph. But so far, very straightforward. Getting more back into the lyrics. So with all that you believe, you still refuse to shelter me, because I am a danger and you're a long way from home. That sounds like a threat to me. I don't know if I'm kind of misconstruing that, but the way I read those words, that completely sounds like a threat. It's like, you're a long way from home, bud. You're a long way from home, and I am the danger. Some Walter White Heisenberg stuff going on there. I am the one who knocks. And you're a long way from home. You are one among many, but you're now on your own. Again, it's fitting into that threat vibe. It's like, you're on your own, but there's more of you. There's been more of you. Maybe because of your own actions, maybe because of, I don't know, things you've done to get to this point, but now you're on your own. Or maybe it's this person who we're speaking from the point of view of, which is Vessel. I think we're in Vessel's point of view. Or actually, we might be in Sleep's point of view, because it kind of gives me the vibe like this person is turning their back on whoever they're speaking to. It's like, you're on your own now. You had a lot. You are one among many, but now you're on your own. It's like, we're turning your back on you. It's like, we collective are turning your back on you. Okay. And I hate the way you look at me when I'm not understood, because you can remember only when you're alone. I am granting you more than the debt that I owe. Ooh, so the debt that this person owes the other person, they're granting them more than they owe by what? By turning their back on them? Like they should have turned their back on them a long time ago? Interesting. Okay. Let me know if I'm onto something down here, guys, and let me know what it's actually about, because I love learning about the story, and I appreciate you guys filling me in on kind of the gaps that I miss in these lyrics. All right, anyway, let's get back to it. There we go. There it is. Like that. Halftime. Okay. All right, so yeah, it never really went insane. Like, I love that little exit bit there. We got heavier. Even before that, the section before the outro, we were adding chugs in the background, so it was already going up and getting heavier, but it was kind of just like a keep in groove with chugs type of thing. But then also in the back, they added like a counter melody on the piano. It's very far back in the mix. If you're not really actively paying attention to it, it can slip by. You may not even hear it, but it's a nice little counter melody to the main melody that the vocals is singing underneath the chugs. So there's that juxtaposition there between the harsh, distorted metal chugs on the guitar with the drums, they're doing their thing. You know, it's kind of just, again, that simple beat, but it's adding flair with the extra little clicks and the splash cymbal, and that really prominent, like, big, girthy, maybe a 20-inch crash cymbal there that he's using. It might even be a trash cymbal, maybe a China, but I don't think I heard it was a China. It was like a big trashy cymbal that was just keeping that quarter note beat for us. The guitars really doing their thing, but nothing like insane, so to speak. And then again, this one was a lot more even keeled. The ending was a bit harsher, but again, overall, I think it was that centerpiece, kind of the glue in the album. Center is like a little bit towards the middle, pretty much. It's one song off the dead center of the album. So I would imagine the next song in the album is probably going to go crazy. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know exactly how they structure their albums per se, because this is the first full-on album I'm reacting to of them. But that was kind of like the even keel one. Fantastic song, did what it needed to do. The lyrics, again, cool meaning there, cool lyrics if I'm getting any of those wrong. But they actually did seem to have meaning for me this time, which is kind of, you know, not usually the case. And something I wanted to mention too, throughout the song, certain sections, like definitely the beginning, and definitely again when it took it softer towards the middle again, it kind of went back to that same intro section. It reminded me a lot of Tool. I hear a lot of Tool in this band. I'm not the biggest fan of Tool. I'm a fan of Danny Carey. But in terms of Tool as a whole, I'm not very familiar with them. But what I am familiar with them, Tool isn't a melodic-based band, and I'm all about melody. Tool is more about, you know, deep meaning, kind of ayahuasca, taking you kind of to the outer realms of like your thoughts and such. That's not the kind of music I'm into. I mean, I can get into it, but my thing is, you know, the juxtaposition between heavy and melody. That's my wheelhouse. But not really a negative. It's kind of just, they just remind me a lot of Tool. I would bet you anything. I would bet you $10 million that Tool is one of Vessel's main inspirations in music. I can almost guarantee that. Anyways, Micro Militia, thank you very much for tuning in once again. Leave a hot thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel or you just like my reaction style. Catch y'all on the next one. Later, guys.